Okay, my name is Jim Gillis. I'm from Warwick, and he called me a young man, but I'm in my early 70s. So,
You look younger than me.
my question is about, I have two questions about Social Security. One is the cost of living, that some people in Congress now want to reduce the cost of living increase every year, which will reduce the buying power of all seniors across America. Millions of people will be hurt if that passes. I want to know how you're going to handle that. You're only one in Congress, but. And the second question is, affects very few people. It doesn't affect me, but it affects people I know. The federal offset, the Social Security offset. I have relatives who are affected by it and friends who are affected by it who have their Social Security reduced because they have a pension from an agency that did not pay into Social Security. So they have their Social Security reduced a great deal. And one last thing is not a question, is that I'm in the donut hole. So I have been affected by Obamacare, and I've been saving money because of Obamacare. And it's been working well for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let me take the first half of your question first. What you're referring to is the term chain CPI. And what chain CPI is, it would basically slow the rate of increase in Social Security cost of living increases that would be reported. I've been on multiple letters and also resolutions to President Obama and as a sense of Congress that I oppose change CPI. I don't think it's the right way to approach reforming Social Security. And let me say that Social Security is a promise that we made to our seniors, and I'm going to continue to do everything I can to make sure that we protect both Social Security and Medicare and make sure it's there for future generations of seniors. Now that being said, there doesn't mean that we can't do some things to Social Security to improve its solvency. And I have co-sponsored one particular bill that stands out by my colleague Ted Deutsch from Florida. What it would do, it would gradually raise the cap on Social Security payments that we pay into Social Security. Most people are unaware that for those people that make under $113,000, you're paying into Social Security up until you reach $113,000 in wages. Beyond that, people stop paying into Social Security. So what we would do, what I would support, is looking at the idea of removing that cap gradually, so that as your income rises, you're continuing to pay into Social Security. That would keep that program solvent for another 75 years. Beyond that, the bill would also call for in terms of when they evaluate the cost of living and what it should be, having a senior market basket of goods that are used to evaluate what the cost of living increase should be. So, for example, right now, generally the cost of living is tied to a broad market basket of goods. Some of them deal with the costs that seniors encounter every day, but many of them do not. So a senior market basket of goods would be more directly related to what is the real cost for seniors and how it's increasing year over year. For example, it'd be more heavily weighted toward things like food and rent, fuel, and healthcare costs, those types of things that take up most of the seniors' monthly Social Security check, for example. So I think it's a good piece of legislation. Again, would work harder to protect and ensure the solvency of Social Security going forward. And your second part of your question?
The federal offset.
Yes. So you're right. There are some people that have earlier on worked in a job that didn't pay the Social Security, had a private pension system, and so their Social Security check is reduced by the amount that pension pays each month. And there are some people that don't get a Social Security at all because they didn't pay into Social Security during their course of their job. So I've co-sponsored legislation that would do away with the Social Security offset. It particularly affects spouses when their spouse didn't pay into Social Security, but for example, they did, the other spouse, when that spouse passes away, that senior, who's the survivor senior, winds up losing out. And so I've co-sponsored a couple of different bills that would help address the Social Security offset. I want to be candid with you though. You know, we had high hopes that we were going to be able to see that passed and addressed back when there were surpluses as far as the eye can see. But then, you know, enter George Bush and the Republicans, and they had these massive tax cuts and didn't address spending. And now we're in the fiscal challenges that we're in with budget deficits as far as the eye can see, including 2 wars, of course, that we're paying for. So it's going to be a challenge to get that enacted.
Next question right here.